I am testifying to you of a name that belongs to a disciple, a so-called disciple of Yahweh, Beth Nun Sophie, Yahweh, that was hidden under the allegory of Yahshua ben Yosef, a name that was salvaged away from that great fire of Alexandria back in 391 AD. I am testifying to you, O Jacob, that those very same evil and wicked angels of Satan sat down around the chief council seat of Pope John Paul III during the first 8 sessions in Trent, even in Trento in the mid-16th century, and took this Hebrew name that appears in English as Shimon ben Yonah, a Yehudite. Shimon ben Yonah was a Yehudite, and they translated that name into the Greek name today, a Greek's name. I am testifying to you, O Israel, that those very same evil and wicked angels of Satan sat down around the chief council seat of Pope John Paul III during the first 8 sessions in Trento in the mid-16th century, during the crafty council meeting, and changed Ben Yonah to the Greek surname known as Petros, or the Latin's Pedro, or the English's name, quote, Peter, end of quote, who became known today as, quote, Simon Peter, end of quote, bar none. I am testifying to you, O ye first fruit of Yahweh, that those very same evil and wicked angels of Satan, according to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9, they all knew who, quote, Shimon ben Yonah, end of quote, was. They know who he is as the very first Hebrew servant of Yahweh, or the very first so-called disciple of Yahshua ben Yosef, according to the New Testament of the King James Version Bible. Yahshua also went through a change that they call, quote, Jesus, end of quote, today. They know who Yahshua ben Yosef told these certain words to. Yahshua told Shimon ben Yonah of the so-called sacerdotal power, which is truly the royal priesthood of Yahweh. And also, at that same time, Yahshua ben Yosef gave Shimon ben Yonah the key knowledge to the kingdom of heaven. Just like Yahweh Beth Nun Sophie, Yahweh gave Yehuda, allowed us to have the key knowledge of the kingdom of heaven today in one of his books. Now, this is proven in the book of Matthew, chapter 16, what I'm testifying to you of, beginning at verse 18 and 19, which reads, as I quote, And I say also unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. End of quote. I am testifying to you, O royal priesthood of Yehuda, that after it was discovered by the CTE, the Council of Trent Empire, during the sacraments of Pope John Paul III of 1545, which featured in their discussion the belief that the propitiatory of the sacerdotal power, also known as the priesthood, that was given to Shimon ben Yonah, was then ordered by Pope Pius IV on January the 26th day, 1564, in the papal bull Per Benedictus Deus, that was meant for only the church, the Catholic Church of Rome, that was also translated from Hebraic into the Greek idiom by a German monk named Martin Luther of the Catholic Church, that became part of Martin Luther's 95 Thesis that he issued in Wittenberg in Europe, and is now transliterated into the English idiom and found printed in the King James Version of the Holy Bible, the book of 1 Peter, the book of 1 Shimon ben Yonah, chapter 2 and verse 9, that reads, quote, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." End of quote. I am testifying to you, O earth, that when Yahweh Beth Nusophi, Yahweh ben Yahweh, first arrived in Miami of Florida in the year known as 1979, he did so when he arrived to loose the 7 seals of the book in the place where his servant Micah Yahweh said he would come. He prophesied the exact spot where Yahweh ben Yahweh would come, that you can read in the book of Micah chapter 5 and verse 2, just as he prophesied. I am testifying to you, O thou Bethlehem, Ephrathah, though thou be little among the thousands of only one measure of wheat of Judah. You are one measure of wheat among thousands of Judah. You who can hear this testimony, as well as 3 measures of barley here in the United States of America. Yet out of thee has Yahweh ben Yahweh come forth unto me, that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from of old, from everlasting. Reference Micah chapter 5 verse 2. Read it. It's there. I am testifying to you, O Babylon, babyland of the earth, that Yahweh ben Yahweh arrived during this generation in order to open the book and to let those who were sealed in the book loose, who were shut up and sealed in the book, to let them out, to be free from those wicked, evil devils by knowing the truth. And the truth shall make those who have not received the truth free, to be free of the sacerdotal power, to become part of the sacerdotal power, which is also known as the priesthood, speaking and testifying about those and of those of Judah, Yehudah. You got to be free. Your Redeemer has come to free you, and he's loosed the book. All you have to do is come out of the book. You come out of the book by accepting and receiving the truth that shall make you free from that wicked Satan and his devilish angels. Just as it was prophesied to happen, you were freed. You were prophesied by the so-called archangel of Yahweh that is mentioned in Daniel chapter 12 and verses 1 through 4. And just for the record, this particular so-called, quote, archangel, end of quote, of Yahweh that is found in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1 He does not have a pair of white wings or feathers like a fowl or a bird protruding from the trapezius of its back. That trapezius is the bone in the back shoulder blade. Can you imagine a 6-foot man, 215 pounds, walk around with bird feathers sticking, white bird feathers sticking, protruding out of his back, out of his shoulder blades, flying around in the street, flying around trees, flying up in trees, flying on top of buildings, flying in the sky, blowing a trumpet? You evil and wicked bastards. You have my people believing that. You have my people believing that he has a white halo, a mythical halo around his head, a myth from dew, from rain, like a rainbow, a white rainbow around his head. Oh, Yahweh, please wake my people up. I am testifying to you, O earth, and we are repeating to ye, O Yehuda, Judah, that Yahweh ben Yahweh first arrived to the city of the south called, again, quote, Miami, end of quote, of the state called, quote, Florida, end of quote. And you must now know this, and you must understand this, that the English's idiom of the city, the English idiom that you are familiar with of this city, which is the largest city in the most southeastern part of the United States of America, is spelled with the 3 English alphabets, and 2 of the 3 that are positioned twice. This makes it 5 positions to complete the spelling of that city, which are, quote, M-I-A-M-I, end of quote, Miami.